Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
This week we conclude our three-part series on Randall Keith Orton. We're looking at old man Orton. We're looking at vintage Orton at this point.
Disrespect to Randy. He's like like mid-30s at the beginning of this clip.
Yeah, I know, but that's what they by the end. They're like, "Oh, vintage Orton, like classic Orton," because we've seen him
because
for
he's
a
been
long
doing it for
time.
so damn long.
And doing it at a high level. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you should go to youtube.com at Crossbody of Work. Go hit subscribe. Go follow us and watch us on YouTube. It'd be a great time. If you are watching on YouTube, Javier's waving at you aggressively. But also, if you're listening
As
on the
aggressively as it
podcast,
gets.
thank you for listening, as always. And we take a wrestler and we look at their career through 5 of their most important matches. For certain wrestlers, they get 3-parters, they get 15. So we got our last 5 matches for Randall Keith. We are diving into time when he is part of the Authority. Of course, the last time we saw Randy Orton, he was winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. He would cash it in at SummerSlam, turn heel, and be the handpicked champion of the Authority, leading to, of course, the wonderful Daniel Bryan storyline, the Miracle on Bourbon Street. It's all good stuff.
It
That's
is
all good
all
stuff.
great things. Unfortunately, it then just comes back around to Randy.
It does come back around to Randy, and that's where we're at right now. We're looking at our first match, and it is, as you put in the comment, or our little sheet that we have, the last singles match so far between Orton and Cena.
Last pay-per-view singles
Pay-per-view singles match.
Yes.
Okay.
They had a random match on like a Raw or something.
I was
like,
going to say,
back
that
in,
feels
20...
illegal. Like, it feels like it shouldn't be.
I think their last match actually came before the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, the one that Bray Wyatt won.
Yeah.
It was like on a random like Raw or SmackDown.
So this is their last pay-per-view singles match together, Hell in a Cell 2014. Winner gets their hands on Brock Lesnar and the WWE title. What do you think of this one?
Well, it's not a prize. Whoever wins this match is just gonna get murdered.
Yeah, because this is like murder era Brock. Not that any
Brock
of his
murdered John Cena at
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Not that any of his eras aren't murder eras, but yeah.
I mean, the thing with this match is like I put it here because it's their last pay-per-view singles match. It makes sense for this to be the match that was selected, but as far as Hell in a Cell matches go, like this one's middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I have nothing against it. I think it's all right. I think they're doing all their classic bits just in a Hell in a Cell setting.
Yeah. They throw in some weapons in there at some point. A spot that somehow becomes a recurring thing for Randy in these Hell in a Cell matches, but we'll get to that later.
What's that spot? Tell me about that spot.
Oh, it's the stairs when Cena throws the stairs at him.
Yeah.
And he moves.
Randy loves avoiding getting hit by stairs because that happens again in this same episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of classic stuff. And again, going through these bit by bit is going to take a lot. So let's talk about some of the classic things. Cena early going on for the 5-knuckle shuffle. Orton had been in control for that whole time, but then he did the Orton pose. And then Cena was like, oh, here's an opening. Cena goes to the 5-knuckle shuffle, kicks him when he does the taunt, and does his classic snap slam for a 2.
Cena escapes a draping DDT, tosses Orton out of the ring. Cena like lifts Orton up as effortlessly as it gets because John Cena, big strong muscle man, runs him into the cage a few times. This is essentially what they do. They just run each other into the cage. At one point, Orton body checks Cena off the apron into the cage, and commentary starts talking about Tim White.
I didn't even catch that. What were they talking about Tim White for?
They're just like, that's the same situation. Like, that's the same thing that happened to Tim White, and Tim White never was able to officiate a match again.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. We get a weird version of the headlock backbreaker, too, where Orton just picks Cena up and runs him crotch first into the ring post, which is a weird choice. And then since he's hanging there, does the headlock backbreaker over like with the ring post.
I respect it.
I mean, it's good to switch things up. I get it.
Cena sets up a table. He's clearly going for a move on it. Orton slips out, knocks down the table in the process of slipping out, then hits a drop kick.
Yeah. God, it's a good drop kick. The table gets set up in the corner. Cena dodges, hits the first of 2 shoulder blocks, and then Orton counters the second into an RKO. This is a very underrated RKO. This is very good.
Yeah. I've not. I genuinely. I probably have seen this match like one time in my life.
I wouldn't have rewatched this. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have rewatched it either. I have zero recollection of it. So when it happened, I was like, oh my God.
It's also one of the only moves that makes sense to be a flying nothing. Like the shoulder block,
Yeah.
he's in perfect RKO position. It makes perfect sense to RKO that man. Whereas sometimes you see people come through up and like, oh, you're about to get hit with an RKO because you didn't move. Or you're, for some reason, you're parallel to the ground when normally you're not. So you're
That's
about to
true.
get hit with an RKO.
You're about to get rocked.
You're about to get your life ruined.
Or it's a near fall. Orton drives Cena through that table that was set up in the corner. Near fall.
Near fall.
Orton puts steps, grabs the sets, put them in the ring. Because what's a Hell in a Cell match without the steps being put in the ring? Am I right?
This man walked so that Eric Rowan and Big Show could run with the stairs match.
Jesus Christ. We're only a year away from that. Back body slam. Actually,
we're a year
past
we? That.
No.
Aren't we?
That was in 2013. That might have been. Was that not Extreme Rules 2014?
I don't remember. A big Eric Rowan fan in the comments will tell us.
Because I think it was the year that Roman came back from that. Because you know how he had that like hernia injury, and then he came back, and then he won the Royal Rumble.
Stairs match.
Because I think it was post Authority thing, like the Survivor Series.
TLC 2014. So we're a month away, or 2 months away.
I am a sicko.
You're a savant.
I am a sicko. Cena goes for the FU. Orton slips out. Low blows him.
It's all legal. I don't know why you wouldn't start a Hell in a Cell match by kicking the opponent in the dick. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It's legal.
I want to shake your hand because I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Just walk up and do your best Pat McAfee when he was actually playing football and punt that man in the jewels.
Yeah, give me a Shane Leckler. Fuck his dick up.
Sebastian Janikowski to the Janikowskis.
Okay, well, Janikowski was a regular kicker.
I know, but you could do the full.
Shane Leckler was literally the punter of that team.
Of that exact same team. Go Raiders.
Orton misses a punt. Cena locks in the STFU. Cena has never done a good-looking STFU on Randy.
Ever.
The only time he did it was the one where he used Randy's own damn hand.
Yeah, where they had the handcuff, also known as the tiny bull rope match. Orton's on the outside, and Cena tosses the steps at him and misses. So the spot that we're going to see a couple times in this. Orton tosses Cena into the stell. We get an FU by Cena for a 2. That's cool. Cena wants another, but Orton counters it into an RKO, and commentary does not notice at first.
At all. JBL, radio silent, which never happens.
Michael Cole, it takes Michael Cole a minute too, and then he's like, that was an RKO. Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't until the replay that he was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was great.
Michael.
Cena puts Orton on a table, goes to the top. Orton gets off and crotches Cena on the top rope. Orton wants an RKO off the top. Cena pushes him, and then we get the finish. What does Cena do?
Avalanche FU through a table.
He gets Brock Lesnar. Spoiler alert, did not go well.
Well, no, he doesn't get Brock Lesnar. He shares Brock Lesnar, because I'm pretty sure that's what sets up the Rumble match triple threat.
That's a very good triple threat. It still does not go well for John Cena.
No, I mean, I think he's the one
there where John just things didn't go well for John
until WrestleMania when he beat Rusev.
So I'm glad you talk about WrestleMania because their next match is at a WrestleMania. So Orton,
not one, that same one.
That same one. Orton would turn face. He would, because he had problems with the Authority's new golden boy, Seth Rollins, who had won Money in the Bank. And so they had their issues. Rollins actually curb stomped him onto steel steps, and that's so that Randy could go film The Condemned 2.
I thought he ate didn't he eat the cinder blocks, or was that Dean?
Dean was the cinder blocks. Orton was just steel steps. But then we get this match at WrestleMania 31. It is Rollins versus Orton. Seth is obviously Mr. Money in the Bank because he will cash in when it is dark out in the main event. And his hair has never been wetter.
Oh my God, bro. It's so... He's like he took a shower.
The shower.
Yeah.
He's
so left the shower wet. And he, like, from immediately washing your hair. Because I don't know how you do it, but what I do is I wash my hair and then I'll just, like, step back, do some other things so that it dries a little bit. Then I dip it from the scene.
Then I dip from the scene?
Yeah,
I do start with the hair first, and then that way the hair isn't super wet when I get out of the shower. Like he dunked his
he's
head
not
in the bath. He bobbed for
like
apples, and then he
the
came.
shower was right at
Yeah.
it was in Gorilla, and then he walked out.
Can we talk about J&J Security?
Go ahead, cook.
One of my favorite goon combos of all time. Jamie
It's
Noble and
just
Joey
so
Mercury. It's so great because they're obviously like important enough because we remember them. If you're a fan, you're like, oh, he was in M&M and he was the cruiserweight champion, and that's all great.
Yep.
So they have enough credibility, to be threatening, but they're also stupid, and that's
so
the way they're
stupid.
played. Is they're just so stupid, and they can take any bump. And
how
they're
I
my favorite
referred to
people.
them?
They're my second favorite duo to get thrown around behind the Singh brothers. Because Randy Orton, we're not covering it on this. Randy Orton murdered the Singh brothers for like 3 months.
Yeah, I skipped over that. Listen, it was one bad feud or the other, and I chose the shorter one.
That's a good decision.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things where, like, what they reminded me of Pinky and the Brain. Because I always felt like Jamie Noble was Pinky because there's no way he was the Brain.
No.
And then it made sense because Mercury was bald, so he was Pinky. I don't know. Also, this was like the least justifiable babyface turn of all time. Randy Orton went babyface because he was jealous that Seth Rollins was now the favorite of the Authority.
But we've talked about this. The only reason that Randy's babyface ever is because the RKO is very cool, and if he just hits it on the right person, we're all like, yeah, babyface.
Like it's not even that he's a babyface because he's like, oh, fuck the Authority. It's literally because they like this guy more than they like me. Mom, Dad, what the fuck?
Papa H. This match is really fun. It's also really short.
Yeah. I mean, this was the opener, I want to say.
No, I believe the opener was the Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
Oh yeah, it probably was. Yeah, I mean, this is for a match that was probably just thrown somewhere in the middle of the card. It was good shit. I mean, what do you expect? It's 2015 Rollins when he's in his flippy jumpy boy bag, and it's Randy Orton who is literally always good. I do have a question for you. Daytime wrestling thoughts?
I like it. However, there are certain places that it should, like. So here's the thing: Undertaker and Bray Wyatt happens in the light. That can't happen. You can't give me an Undertaker Bray Wyatt. You can't give me a Sting entrance in the light.
Yeah, that was bad. That was tough.
So no, like those things. But like Rusev riding in a tank in the light, yes, fine, sure.
This match in the light,
perfectly
fine.
Fine. Yeah, this match was second.
I think it was more so the way that the sun was like setting a little bit. So like you got like the glare of yellow from kind of that, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem right to me.
It's a little off. It feels a little weird.
Yeah.
Orton starts the match off with
really good. Beautiful dropkick.
Beautiful dropkick. RKO temp, but Rollins avoids. Orton slams Rollins down by his head. He gets uppercuts in the corner. We got a good little spot here where there's the punches being rained down in the corner by Orton. Rollins hits a buckle bomb, which every time I see it now in hindsight, I'm like, Sting.
Did you see the video package that Finn Balor got on Monday? The one where he is just a hater to the absolute extreme?
No, but I love hater Finn Balor.
It's basically just him being like, when you tore my pec in that match that I beat you in, by the way.
Yep.
The next night, at literally the lowest moment of my life, you came out and you laughed at me, which is true. As he was walking away up when he's at the entry of the ramp, like finally about to say his goodbye to the fan, Rollins comes out and laughs at him.
Long-term storytelling. Don't forget shit.
Yeah,
because then
I'm just more upset that they don't talk about like the IC title feud that they had with the Miz. Like, you stole that from me at that WrestleMania, or like when he brought back the curb stomp, you did that on me, you piece of shit.
Seth Rollins being a dick is a canon event. It has to happen in every universe. Seth Rollins is a dick,
but like a lovable dick right now.
Right now, yeah. Honestly, he's kind of like Randy
He's a
Orton,
dick.
where
He's just a humble
he's
dick.
still a dick, but he's a dick to certain people that we want him to be a dick to now.
Yeah.
J&J Security get involved. They get hit with a double draping DDT hanging off the apron, which, ow.
Well, if anyone's going to take that, you would want it to be a tall person. Neither of those two are tall people. So even more ouch.
Even more ouch. Rollins gets the suicide dive on Orton for a 2 count. He sends Orton face first in the turnbuckle. He's doing a lot of stuff. He misses a springboard. Orton hits a couple clotheslines. We love this, like, they kind of know each other. Rollins grabs the ropes to avoid the power slam, then goes for stomp and gets slammed then anyways. Like, it's the good counter wrestling that we see.
Orton hits an exploder suplex. This is when I noticed that Orton started wearing the elbow pad. This is the first match, I believe, that he wears those elbow pads.
Yes.
Like, he'll take them off here and there. You notice it in some of these matches, like coming up, but it's one of those things where, like, well, he more frequently used it like the last couple years of his career, more than anything. But every once in a while, he'll just bust out the elbow pads, and I was like, oh, we mean business. He's about to He's about to old man wrestle someone to death.
Rollins hits an insecurity while Orton's on the apron. That's pretty good. And then Rollins with a springboard moonsault to the outside. Acai moonsault.
My goat.
That's pretty good. They both go on the top rope. Rollins wants the sunset flip, which also gives me flashbacks. Don't like that. But that's what will end his title reign.
Orton does a flying crossbody.
Yeah. Rate the Orton crossbody.
It looked like not great.
It
was like a 3-4, yeah.
Rollins rolls through. Orton then gets a draping DDT. Rollins flips out of a back suplex. Orton hits an RKO, and Seth kicks out. Seth gets kicked out of an RKO.
Yeah, I mean, not many people do that.
No, we have not seen many kickouts, especially when the RKO got introduced. It ended matches immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the list of people who've kicked out of it, it's probably John Cena. And then
I assume Batista may have, or
maybe Triple H,
Lesnar,
Danielson,
probably Reigns at some point.
Yeah, probably. But it's not a long list. I'd be shocked if it's in the double digits.
I would be shocked if it's in the double digits. But Seth kicks out, and then Orton decides to go for the punt. God bless him, because he's like, well, if the move that ends matches doesn't do it, I'll end bloodlines. I will just kick your face off. And again, they had to go back in time to make sure that he doesn't get punted, because then we wouldn't have a little baby, because Seth would be dead.
Okay.
If you couldn't tell, I watched Into the Spider-Verse recently, so I'm all about
Across the Spider-Verse. You mean?
Whatever, man. Oh yeah, the first one's Into. So yeah, Across.
Yeah.
I watched Across.
Great movie.
It's excellent. It's a very good movie. That man got hit with a bagel. Noble gets in the ring, RKO. Mercury dives at Orton. He gets RKO'd out of midair. All good stuff. Seth then hits Orton with the stomp for a 2.
Yeah, this is crazy too, because I think aside from Brock Lesnar, I don't know that anyone's kicked out of the stomp.
Rollins then is going to go for Phoenix Splash to appease the marks. Rolls through when Orton dodges. Then we get the greatest RKO of all time.
Yep.
Rollins goes for the stomp. He gets popped up into the air off of Randy's back and gets RKO'd through the world. It is crazy.
Yeah. He sells it so well.
It's the best RKO of all time. I will hear no argument.
It's more so than anything. I think it's just because it's the hardest one.
Yeah. Oh, the degree of difficulty is crazy.
Yeah. It's insane. I don't even know how else to put it. It's a crazy difficult. The story is that they said was that they tried doing it when they were going over the match before, and they couldn't get it a single time. And the idea was that they weren't going to do it in the match, and then on the spot in the match, Randy just goes, "Fuck it, go for it."
And they went for it, and they nailed it. I can see the adrenaline of in the moment. Of course, you're gonna have the oomph to get him up there. So,
I mean, listen, it was just, I think more so than anything with that spot, it's got to be the placement of the foot.
Yes,
he just put it in the right spot, or it just pops him up. Boom.
Orton obviously wins after that. Seth Rollins does not have a bad night though, because he would walk away as the WWE champion. So.
And then, for some reason, instead of getting a one-on-one match, Randy's putting a fatal 4-way with the other Shield members.
Weird times. And we're going to get to some more weird times. We're going to take a break. When we get back, it's time for Orton to feud with Bray Wyatt. Back from the break, Orton feuded with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, and then weirdly just joined them by attacking Kane, because everyone should attack Kane. That's just something we do.
I agree.
At TLC, Orton and Wyatt would win the tag titles, marking Orton's first tag championships in a decade. And then they did the Freebird rule, where it was Orton and Wyatt and Luke Harper. And they would have it where he won the Royal Rumble, but was like, I'm not going to cash in because I'm loyal to the Wyatt family. If you were loyal to the Wyatt family, you'd grow a beard. A bigger beard.
I don't know if Randy can.
I don't know if he can either.
Because you look at his beard, like, yeah, it fills out, but it's kind of like patchy. Like, it's thinner right here.
I don't know if he can do the big length. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can ZZ
I
top.
can't. I know, like, I have like a limit. It's like here.
Yeah, mine grows like out, like this way. I Seth Rogen my beard. Like I can't.
Ooh.
I can't like down. It just won't go this way.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Just goes out.
I let my beard grows and just starts looking like pubic hair.
Yeah,
so.
I look like a chia pet that nobody wanted, but kept getting watered.
You got the Bob Ross hair, but on your chin.
That exactly, precisely. So yeah, and then he won the Royal Rumble. Was like, I'm not going to challenge you, and then turned on Bray Wyatt, obviously, and set up a match for them. And because he burned down Sister Abigail's house, because Sister Abigail was a real person, except when she's not, except when she's a figment of Bray's imagination, except when she's a doll. There are wonderful explainer videos of the Bray Wyatt lore. We as fans should not have to do this much work.
Yeah.
That's what it is. WWE just puts a bunch of shit out there. And Bray, I think Bray's a genius. I genuinely think that.
Yeah.
I think Bray's a genius in terms of wrestling stuff.
I'm going to try to fight these urges, my brother.
But at the same time, they're like, a fan will be like, oh, like these things are connected. And WWE's like, yeah, totally. We meant to do that. No, just make it easy.
And I just wish he could wrestle better.
I like his style. I really do. I think the Fiend character has painted him into a weird corner.
My thing with Bray is like, what's Bray Wyatt's best match? Is it the Daniel
Bryan? Yep.
Yeah, but like,
it's a good match.
Name someone who has a bad match with Danielson. It's really hard. It's not even.
I don't like his chemistry.
Like even that one match he had with Kane.
Does that count?
No, because they had a pretty good match. That U.S. title match that we covered from way back when was pretty good.
I just don't like their chemistry. I think there's better people for both of them, but that's it. Like it's a personal preference.
Okay, it's not his best match, but it's not a bad match. No.
This match, WWE Championship, WrestleMania 33, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, should have been what?
Triple threat
with Luke Harper. Should have been. Yeah. This is a person who was loyal to Bray Wyatt the whole time. People were clamoring for Luke Harper to get a shot, and never happened. It was shit.
I think he beat Randy too at the elimination chamber.
It was that or an episode of SmackDown.
Or it was Fastlane. There might have been a Fastlane that year.
There's always a Fastlane. He beat him and should have been it, but instead we get this match, which is famous for bugs.
Shout out to the big semen.
Sorry?
You didn't the big sperm that comes down the ramp with Randy.
Oh, yes, of course. I was talking about the bugs that get projected on the canvas.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was like, I don't think there was any semen on the canvas.
Do you know that?
I don't know for sure, but all right.
Don't put a black light on that ring, my brother.
Orton gets power slam, goes for the RKO. Wyatt runs to the outside immediately. Orton sends him into the announce table, gets him in the ring. Wyatt manages to get the advance with the right hand, does his weird backwards taunt thing, which is great for your back. And then we get maggots on the canvas.
Sorry, is it actually great for your back?
I mean, if you can crack your back that way, yeah.
Should I try to do that?
Well, you should. It shouldn't just be you doing it. You should have something hard and you bend over it and then it'll crack your back.
Oh,
yeah, it's nice. It's good times.
I'm gonna crack my back on my ottoman later.
There you go. The projections on the canvas.
No. Immediate no. Immediate 0 out of 10. Because they just don't make sense. Like, what is the point of the bugs? Oh,
What?
it's a scare tactic for Randy. Why do you need scare tactic, Bray? Why can't you just fuck this dude up with the power of Abigail?
Also, Bray Wyatt's powers have never been defined. Undertaker's the best comp, right? Undertaker, we have a general idea of what he can do. He does lightning
Lightning,
stuff. He can appear
turns off
places.
the lights,
He does lights like that.
random smoke.
And then randomly possesses Josh Matthews, which is awesome, and everyone should do it. But we have no sense of what Bray Wyatt can do because he's a cult leader. He's just a cult leader. Did he pay a projectionist to do that? Or was this his power? Or does he have the ability to make things appear? Also, why are you scaring them with a Planet Earth documentary? Like David Attenborough could narrate. It's just bugs. Bugs are fine. Kids eat bugs. What the fuck are we doing?
Okay. First off,
they shouldn't.
Never ate a bug.
They do.
Never ate a bug.
Never ate a bug?
I don't know. Did you eat a bug, Evan?
I guarantee at some point I tried to eat a bug. I will put money on it.
I think that's more of a you thing.
That's what we do in Canada. We eat bugs.
I can say it right now, people.
If you eat bugs.
I've never eaten a bug in my life. I'm not like that one movie. Remember that one like book that became a movie? It was like the kid that ate worms, like how to eat worms or whatever, or cook fry worms or whatever, something like that.
Anyways, why are we scared of the projections of bugs? And like,
are you scared of bugs?
No, Orton doesn't. Sell
I'm not a bug scare person. I'm the person
scared.
that kills the bugs.
Orton gets confused. He's like, "All right." Commentary sells it like, "Oh my god,
oh my god, Michael,
he's got bugs on the." Like, if you're gonna go do that, pour fucking cockroaches from the ceiling. Do it,
Michael. At least like rubber ones.
Yeah, who cares? You drop blood on people and other random stuff. You goo people.
The thing is, it's WrestleMania. You know, like you can't
ruin the canvas.
Just do that. Yeah, that too.
Anyways, why hits Uranagi, which is his best move?
Yeah, it's great. Looks fun. Running senton for a near fall. Orton rolls up Bray on a Sister Abigail attempt. Wyatt follows with a clothesline. This is just Bray on top like the whole time. Ray hits a running shotgun drop kick from the apron to the outside. He does a Sister Abigail on the barricade. On the other side of the ringside area, Orton ducks a clothesline, hits an RKO.
Yeah, a surprising RKO.
Yeah, he then gets Bray in the ring.
He misses a punt. Wyatt goes for Sister Abigail. Orton gets the backbreaker and then the draping DDT. The crowd is simply not into this match.
Yeah, they just don't give a fuck at all.
Orton wants the RKO. Wyatt hits Sister Abigail. 2 count. Bendy taunt. Time for new bugs. These bugs are cockroaches, which of the 3 bugs we saw are the one I would want to see the least. So there's the scariest one.
It's like maggots, worms, and cockroaches.
In terms of like how cool worms are my boys. When it's raining outside, you just walk around. You're looking for worms. Like, hey man, what's up, guys? How we doing?
I don't be looking for bugs.
Why don't we look? I'm not like searching. You just look at the ground. You're like, oh man,
I don't know, man. You go outside, you look for worms.
Man, worms are good. They catch fish. Fish can be eaten.
Do you have worms, Evan?
I don't have worms. I eat gummy worms. Those are good.
No, though that's a dangerous
pretty good.
I can't be eating those gummy type things, man. The things that those like gummy bears, gummy worms, gummy sharks, what that does to my stomach it's unspeakable.
Did you have braces?
No.
Oh, so you didn't have like a gap where you couldn't eat those?
No,
I've had people say like they got braces and then they like the worst thing you can eat is those gummy candies, and then because of that, when they started the braces came off, they just couldn't eat them anymore because they were like these are gross or like my stomach can't handle them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe you had the braces.
No, I am like the elite of the elite, like immune system / that type of thing. So like I've never had teeth problems. Food. I don't get sick. Pretty much ever. Like I'm very lucky and I appreciate it.
We get an RKO out of nowhere after the cockroaches and it's a 3 count and Randy wins the WWE Championship for the 9th time.
Mercifully.
Also his first time winning the title at WrestleMania.
9th time?
Yeah.
No.
9th time for the WWE Championship specifically.
Oh, okay. I was about to
13th
say, there's
World
no fucking
Championship
way.
in total.
The
Yeah.
last match, they literally talked about how they were a combined 27-time champions, and Cena had 15.
Yes. So this is his 13th overall World Championship. And now we're going to look at another World Championship for Randy. It is Hell in a Cell 2020. For context, we're in the Thunderdome.
Yeah, a few years have gone by.
I don't miss the Thunderdome.
Let's see what's happened in this time period.
Jinder Mahal.
Randy had a Jinder Mahal feud that was very bad. Then he just kind of floated for a while there.
He won the United States Championship. That was cool.
Didn't he win it off of Jinder?
No, he defeated Bobby Roode and then lost it to Jinder at WrestleMania 34.
That was a fatal 4-way
with
though.
Rude and Rusev, yeah. And then he feuded with Jeff Hardy and he did the ear thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that. He was just kind of there. He had a feud with Styles for a little bit. He feuded with The Fiend.
Yeah.
That's actually after this is the feud with The Fiend. Because Randy turns heel and does the Legend Killer gimmick again.
Yeah, because Edge decided to come back at the Royal Rumble 2020. It's one of the best moments in wrestling history.
Correct.
And then immediately the next night on Raw gets RKO'd straight to oblivion, Concerto.
Yeah, it was an awesome time. Randy decided to start murdering legends again. Remember, he would have like his Splinter Cell goggles, and he would just I'm gonna kill Big Show and Rick and Christian.
Fun fact: the last time that Matt Hardy, Christian, and Mark Henry, and maybe the Big Show were all on TV, they were getting fucked up by Randy Orton.
Honestly, I love that for Randy. The gatekeeper to the end of your WWE career. He just you see him and he's like the Grim Reaper, and you're like, no, I have more time. Yeah. They're like, no, you don't, Dolph Ziggler. RKO. Get murdered. And then Drew McIntyre for some reason was like the defense. Do you like this era of Drew McIntyre? Like this?
Okay, so I love Drew. I picked him to win that Rumble before it happened. I picked him like months before it happened.
Yeah.
And I was very happy that he won it because I was like, all right, this is great. He's going to go. He's going to beat Brock, and it's going to launch him. And fucking Drew's going to be like a mega baby face. And then he just kind of wasn't. They booked him so weirdly. They gave him good feuds. Like the feud with Rollins I think it was Money in the Bank was pretty good. He had a match against AJ. And then it just got weird. And I like this feud with Orton specifically.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's because the matches were good. It's not because of the legend stuff.
Yeah. During the entrance, Orton attacks McIntyre because he's disguised as a cameraman. And
Drew was like, I knew you were doing this. I knew
you were there. I could tell it was you. I've got you, Randy.
You really are a fop bastard.
You can't RKO me. I'll RKO you. God bless Drew.
My name is Drew McIntyre.
Whenever we do a Drew episode, it's going to be so shitty with accents.
I'm gonna do the whole episode talking like this.
It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be insufferable. So be prepared, listeners. All right,
Drew.
The match itself is pretty good. I'd say this is.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
This is. I think they gave this a 4.5 stars. Dave Meltzer.
I mean, it starts kind of weird. They're just kind of running around the outside. Orton's just kind of brawling with Drew. He has the advantage of
Orton is wearing a hoodie and sweatpants.
Yeah, that's what cameramen wear.
And so the whole beginning of this match, he has hoodie on and the sweatpants. And then they finally get into the cage in the ring.
Yeah.
And he takes off his hoodie, but he leaves the sweatpants on.
And he's got his trunk showing. He's doing a Lita thing, but there's no thong. Orton manages to dodge steel steps being thrown at him by Drew McIntyre, like we mentioned earlier.
Yep. And Drew, like Cena, carries him and runs him into the cage effortlessly.
Yep, he weighs nothing. Orton dodges a Claymore, hits the knee of Drew with a chair with what I think might be the softest chair shot I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Just
well, then he just kind of
tap it,
keeps
tap
hitting
it,
him
tap
with the
it.
chair.
Then he lays into him. Orton finally gets the sweatpants off. We are 7.5 minutes in.
Longest Randy Orton's ever gone with long pants.
That's true. He just would be so weird to see in pants.
Yeah, I mean, he started off his career in trunks, which I feel like everyone does for some reason. Like Cena did, Orton did. There's a lot of trunk wearers out there. But yeah, he's just kind of he's the only person that ever went backwards. Like he took a little off. Well, actually, that's not true. Matt Riddle also went backwards.
That's
now he's
true.
wearing Speedos.
That's true.
And it looks real small.
I mean, Zack Ryder went backwards because he got rid of a whole leg.
Okay, well, I mean,
woo woo woo, you know it. So Orton finally gets the sweatpants off. Drew is stomped into the steps. His face is running into the cage. Orton's just running the show. Gets the table, sets it up in the corner. This is where I realized how much I really liked Tom Phillips and Samoa Joe as the commentary team. Really good.
I loved Samoa Joe. I saw the other day when I guess Tom Phillips laughed at Seth Rollins and Rollins.
Seth and Buddy, yeah.
Yeah, they confronted him and Joe gets up to defend him and he says, I was laughing too. And then he starts talking about Buddy without looking at Buddy. He just points the finger at him.
Yeah. Is this guy? God, so good.
It's amazing. I love Samoa Joe. He's going to be, I think, on Collision this week. He faces someone and then it's going to be him against, if he wins, he goes up against Punk and we get Punk versus Joe 4.
Ooh. That is exciting. Also, quick little plug. On our YouTube, we drafted rosters for Collision and Dynamite. Samoa Joe fell for way too many rounds because he was too low on the list and we couldn't find him. Go and watch us draft the rosters. They're a really good time.
Someone took him. Go figure out who it was.
It wasn't me. Sad. McIntyre's firing up. Overhead belly to belly and another neck breaker by Drew, and the Thunderdome is coming alive with piped in sound.
Yeah, Drew hits a belly to belly through a table set up against the cage on the outside.
Yep.
Orton, so he gets Orton into the ring. Orton gets up as Drew is climbing into the ring because he does the middle rope, like,
yeah.
I don't know how do you describe that when they like get into the ring, but like normally, not like sliding.
They just walk in. They're just walking into the ring.
Yeah, he's walking into the ring, and then Orton kicks the rope up into his dick.
Orton is not Shinsuke Nakamura levels of like hitting people in the dick, but he's up there.
He just kicks people in the dick. Shinsuke got in there.
Shinsuke was
Arm and Hammer, baby.
So then Orton gets himself some bolt cutters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Great album.
I'm sorry, you said what now?
Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Isn't that
That's it. Whose album is that? Anyways. Fiona Apple. Good for Fiona Apple.
It's a good album. Yeah.
He gets the Bolt Cutters. He's out of here. He said, fuck this, fuck the title, fuck Drew McIntyre. I'm out of here.
Drew chased him down with a clothesline after a while. Orton runs him into the cell. Orton climbs the cell, the mad lad. And then Drew thinks about it and goes, I'll join you. And gets up there at the top.
And then they're staring off and Drew's like, I'm up here too now.
Orton has what I describe as a child's toy lightsaber. It's apparently a steel pipe, but it's red and has a black handle.
Oh, it's a steel pipe? I thought it was a kendo stick.
That's what I thought at first too, but they said it was a steel pipe. It's red, but has a black handle, so it looks like a lightsaber. So
Loving Him was red. He hits Drew in the leg. He hits Drew in the leg with this pipe. They're fighting on the side of the cage for a very long time. Great grip.
They go up one side. McIntyre gets the advantage on the roof, and then Orton's like, I'm leaving, and just starts climbing down the other side. They're now wrestling on the other side close to the announce tables, and McIntyre loses and falls through the announce table.
Yeah.
And you're right. They were on there for a long time.
Good landing for him.
Yeah.
They were on there for a super long time. I know that shit hurt because all they do is like cut holes out on the cage, but you're still holding on to the cage.
Yeah. It's still not fun.
Yeah, it still hurts.
This week, I went to a indoor trampoline park, and they had some.
Which one?
It's called the Sky Zone in Toronto. It was really good,
brother. I used to work at Sky Zone,
so they had like the obstacle courses,
3 years,
right?
Yeah,
and the 3 obstacle courses. The one was pretty easy. It was like just like the swinging ropes, and you just had to like balance on the ropes. That was fine. And then you went, you got to do like a Miley Cyrus wrecking ball. You're on the thing, and you just kind of
Yep.
slid across. Then there was the one that was like the floating little platforms. And you had to kind of balance across them. That was cool.
Yeah, like the rickety bridge kind of deal.
Yeah, no, this one is it's hanging from the ceiling still. But the
Yeah.
one had two ball bags, but on the other side were like two big sheets of plastic cheese. Like they were black things with holes in them.
Yeah.
Brother, those were so hard. You had to start on the side, and then you go to grab the ball bag, which again, pause. You go to grab the big thing,
It's
and
Pride Month.
it would swing immediately, and so you would just be stuck like this. Is not a good look. Nobody could complete that one. I
Did you
didn't.
go up the wall?
Of course, you got to go up the wall. You did the sky slam. Play a lot of basketball.
Oh yeah.
I could live my best slam ball life. It was a great time.
I was kind of OP on the wall run thing, the
That's
wall
fair.
climb run thing, because I'm long.
You got that reach.
I'd have to go as high up, and I was just like, ugh.
So yeah, Drew is bleeding from the mouth as he is at ringside.
He's
Great time.
eternally bleeding.
Drew crawling back inside the cell. Orton's calling for the RKO. McIntyre gets a backslide, which is how he won at SummerSlam, I believe. He managed to
Probably.
he caught Orton with a backslide. That's what commentary says.
After a series of events, Drew hits a Claymore.
Orton rolls out of the ring immediately. Smart man.
Yes. They get back into the ring. McIntyre is setting up for a Claymore. Orton ducks, so Drew just takes a back bump. As soon as he gets up, RKO.
That's right. 10-time WWE champion, 14-time world champion. Randy Orton is the champion once again. Honestly, good for him. Good for him. Happy for him.
Good for him.
Who does he lose the title to?
Guy.
He loses it back to
I think
Drew,
he just
right?
loses it. He loses it back to Drew, yeah.
He loses it back
Oh,
to Drew.
no. Was it? Oh, I think, actually, now that I think about it, I think Drew and him had a match maybe at the Rumble.
No, he lost it back to Drew on November 16th episode of Raw. So only like 2 weeks
so Drew
later, 3 weeks
loses,
later.
and then Drew loses the thing to Miz because Miz catches in.
Yeah.
And then that leads to Bobby Lashley.
Yes. Which leads to Big E.
No, it just leads to Drew McIntyre.
All roads lead to Drew. All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we are looking at a promo from Randy Orton on Edge. Back from the break. It is a promo on Edge by our boy Randy. It is February 1st, 2021. This is after their long as hell WrestleMania 36 match. It's
actually a year after.
I don't like it. I don't like that match. I think
it's that match sucks. It's way too long.
It had some good potential, but they could have.
It's the second longest WrestleMania match, I think,
behind the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
They could have cut 16 minutes.
They could have cut so much time off of that.
They could have cut a clean 16 off of that, and it would have been just fine.
They just kept trying to hit each other with stuff and then moved out of the way.
You just described all of wrestling.
They
try to hit something.
I mean, like little items, not moves.
Yes, that's true. They did literally just do that. So after that, Orton is a dick. Edge had won the Royal Rumble and is going to main event WrestleMania 37. And I do love that they revisited Rated RKO. I love that these two are kind of like in that like destined to do this forever status.
I will say I love how it's a reversal of the 2010 feud that they had, where Edge was trying to convince Orton to recreate RKO.
Yeah.
Now it's the other way around, where the Edge or Orton's trying to convince Edge to redo Rated RKO. Although at this point,
it's a dead issue.
It's a dead issue because Orton fucked him up. He says he has to level with Edge because he didn't think it was possible to return to the ring after he had fucked him up last year. And he congratulates Edge for going into the Rumble at number 1 and winning.
Yeah.
He says that he means his congratulations, but that Edge made him look like a liar by coming back because Orton said that he was going to put him out for good.
And he wanted him to return to your wife. He loves you like your brother, sent you home to be a husband, to be a father, out of compassion and mercy. I do like when Randy Orton feels justified. He's very good at his convictions of like, I did this for you. And by doing this for you, I mean, I smashed your head, punt kicked you, and RKO'd your wife. Sir.
Because he loves him like a brother. The gaslighting here by Randy Orton. He says Edge thinks he's going to main event WrestleMania, but he's not.
He's not.
That he made the decision to look past him, Orton, and forget about everything he's done for him and his family.
Edge, spoiler alert, did main event WrestleMania.
And then he goes, and I quote, "So tonight, there will be no mercy. There will be no compassion. And for you, there will be no main event of WrestleMania."
There was a main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was a triple threat. Roman
won.
Beat them both.
Roman
stacked
won.
them.
And it was good. It was pretty good.
It's honestly one of the most I'm him performances I've seen.
I know people are like calling for the end of it. I think
That's
once
me,
we
I'm
do,
people.
I think you still have to acknowledge him. Not to use like this.
I think he goes away for a while.
People are going to be like, "Holy shit, that was really good."
Yeah, no, I mean, like 5 years from now, we're gonna look back on that reign, like, oh my god. I think we would have looked back on it more fondly had he lost to Cody.
Yes.
But I do think that whatever direction they decide to take this, and I have no fucking clue who's gonna end it at this point, because I think Cody's just moved on to another thing, even though it should be Cody. And I don't know who's gonna end it. I don't know if it's gonna be Jey Uso or Solo or anyone in the bloodline, or if it's gonna be like a Braun Breaker at some point in the future, whatever the deal there is. But I do think, like, we're going to look back at this 3-4 year run, whatever it ends up being, and we're going to think, wow, that guy
what a run.
Was just at a different level.
Let's move to a different level of the card for Randy. We are looking at a tag team championship unification match, and we're talking about the Bloodline because this is RKBro versus the Usos, SmackDown May 20th, 2022. I need your quick thoughts on RKBro. What did you think of it?
I fucks with it, man. I actually
didn't want to like it at first. I truly was not in on it, and then they won me over. Randy as the straight man to Riddle's goofiness actually is really good.
Because the thing is, like, by all accounts, like, the way Riddle acts is kind of just like how Randy acted in his youth, except Randy had a little more edge to him because he was a hothead.
It's like Randy having to hang out with young Randy. Sounds like an awful punishment for Randy.
But, like, it worked. It worked so well. I don't know if you watched it or not, but they showed like a little video package before the actual entrances. It was just on RKBro. And Orton says he's never had as much fun as he's having right now with Riddle.
I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
But also, like, Orton doesn't have friends. He has, like, associates. You know what I mean? Like, Edge was his only, like, friend, and then he tried to kill him. But, like, because, like, in Legacy, or in Evolution, like, he was Young Gun, but he got turned down by them, so none of them are his friends anymore. I get that. Legacy, he was clearly in charge.
Friends with Cody.
Could have been friends with Cody. Wyatt family was all a ruse. Like, Authority, he got turned
Rollins,
on. No. He doesn't have friends.
No friends. It's not Kane. It's not Big Show. It's not Shamo.
Shamo.
It's nobody. No friends.
Me, I'll be your friend. Me, Drew McIntyre.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
What kind of voice is that? So this is the unification match. I'm glad we're getting away from the Raw and SmackDown titles, because then they do the brand splits and the switches, and it's so freaking dumb.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to end up doing with the tag title. I'm still on the boat that they should unify them into one set of belts with floating champions, because that's what makes the most sense. I don't think they're gonna, but
I think they're committed to having 2 tag titles. I really do. I think they're like, each show wants, you want to have one set of tag champs, which if you want to do that, have a deeper tag division.
But also, like, put a focus on them.
Yes.
There's no focus. Like, there's barely a focus now, and they have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as the champions,
which is tough because it's KO and Sami. They're so good.
Yeah,
give them attention.
It's whatever.
This match is difficult because it's not as good as our other matches we watch, because it's a TV match.
Yeah, it's a TV match. It's not very long. It only goes like
I think it's
somewhere
12
between
minutes.
11, 13, yeah, something like that. The RK-Bro theme should not slap the way that it does.
It's up there in the like hybrid themes of like this is fine.
It's
This is
great.
actually pretty good.
It's not as good as the Rated RKO theme. I still
No.
stand by the fact that of all the mishmash themes that we've gotten through the years, the Rated RKO, the burning in my light or whatever the fuck, and whatever the hell the Edge theme was called, those
Yes.
two mishmashed. It's goated. It's number one, and it's not even close.
So this match, Usos in their bag as usual. Riddle and Orton also pretty good. Orton and Riddle with quick tag, stomping the hand of Jimmy Uso. Orton helps Riddle get a flip senton, but Jimmy counters, sends Riddle into the corner, and then Riddle gets maybe legit hurt.
Yeah, so he's got like a weird thing going with his hip, and they were like that the ref throws up the X, Doc comes in, they go to a commercial break.
Because he gets
Then we
tossed
come
into the
back.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah, we come back and they Usos are immediately doing like a double, I don't want to call it a spine buster, but like
That's the best thing it
slam
looks
kinda.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, on Riddle, and Michael Cole just goes, "Yeah, he has a bruised hip."
Yeah. That's what the doctor has said. Bruised hip. He's good to continue. Riddle does hit a ripcord knee to Jay, gets an opening, hot
Yeah,
tag to Orton. Orton with his like
it's a
short
great
arm
hot
close,
tag,
his
man.
little like clotheslines. He doesn't follow through all the way. He just like it's like a little pump fake clothesline.
Let me see
And then power slams to both
power
Usos,
slams.
draping DDT to Jimmy. He's calling for the RKO, connects to Jimmy, but Jay makes the save.
Yes, which is very important in the whole bloodline story. Jay
Yes,
always makes the save.
Jay does always make the save.
Jay drags Jimmy to the corner after this, tags himself in. Orton goes for RKO. Jay pushes him into the corner. Riddle tags in, and then Orton eats a super kick.
What a super kick! It's really good.
Yeah, and it's sad, but that's the last time that Randy Orton is a legal competitor in a match.
Yep, right there. At least as of right now, as of recording.
Yeah, as of now.
So it was announced that Orton suffered a legitimate back injury and has been out since. This was May 2022. We were recording in June of 2023. That's been it.
Yeah. Orton's fired up. He hits a fisherman suplex, senton. Jay somehow, some way, ends up hitting a pop-up neck breaker for a near fall.
It's a really nice pop-up neck breaker.
Yeah. Jay then knocks Riddle off the top rope in a rough-looking way. And we get to the finish of the match.
Yeah. So Paul Heyman had been at ringside for the match on commentary, and then he just stops. Heyman with a bit of an interruption, which allows Roman to go up to the to Riddle and it's Jay on the ups on Jay is up there. So it's Riddle and Jay. He knocks Riddle off the ropes while holding Jay on the top ropes.
No, he doesn't. He holds Jay because Riddle's going for a super RKO.
Oh yes, okay. So Riddle does commit to the RKO, and Roman just holds Jay in place. Riddle's on the mat. Big Uso splash. Unified champions are the Usos.
Yes, sir. And then after the match, Roman lays down some ground and pound to Riddle. Orton tries to come into the ring. The Usos double super kick him. Roman does a guillotine to Riddle. Randy gets rocked by some stairs in the background. Jay then splashes Riddle through the announce table. Roman slaps a guillotine on Orton. Orton's unconscious after that. The Bloodline poses to close out the show. We've never seen Randy Orton since.
And our hope is, of course, that we will see Randy Orton. I feel like there's conflicted reports every week about how Randy's doing. Somewhere it's like he's going to be legitimately retired. He's never going to come back. And someone's like, oh, he's like ready. Like he's backstage. Like he might be at Money in the Bank. Like there have been rumors that he's going to be at Money in the Bank and he'll be ready by then. It's like, okay, we don't know what we don't know. Clearly, we just hope that we get more Randy Orton because even though he's 42, 43, even with that, he's still in his bag. He can still do
He's got
everything.
the style to go as long as he wants to go.
Yeah, the RKO does obviously, like, it's a bump you're taking every time, but at the same time, Randy wrestles such a methodical style. He could do this for a long time.
Yeah. I just want the Cody feud. That's all I want.
I just want the Cody feud real bad. Yeah. I assume you know Orton as the heel there, right?
I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you want babyface
Come
Orton
on.
against heel Cody.
No. I want to see babyface Orton against Theo Cody. It would have been it would have been the first feud I would have wanted to see coming out
Yeah.
of WrestleMania if Orton were healthy and Cody had won. Now it's I'm hopeful that he comes back, but I understand if he doesn't. You don't fuck with back injuries.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as a neck.
Your
If you have a
back
bad back,
is important.
yeah. So is your neck. So take care of those two things.
Yeah. I mean, not even close to the same level of injury, but I managed to pull a muscle in my shoulder earlier this week, and everything that I was doing, because I did a lot of driving the last weekend and week, I had to stop every couple minutes. I was just having to rotate my arm, or else my neck, I would get pain all the way up through my neck.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I would had to sleep a certain way or else I would wake up with pain across my shoulders. Yeah, man, and that's one tiny little thing, one tiny
And
little mistake.
You're 31.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm glad you didn't say I'm young, because I'm not young, but I'm also not old.
You're not middle aged.
I
You're
also
in that in
don't
between.
have a career of bumps. I haven't taken bumps. If I take one bump, I would be dead.
You would just evaporate.
I would cease to exist. I would just blip.
And now we get to the thing that I wanted to show you.
All right,
so
hit me with the surprise.
Randy Orton, if we still, I mean, he's not an active competitor, but he's still technically an active participant in the roster. He's listed on the roster page, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Randy Orton currently has the longest active tenure with WWE. He is at 22 years.
Okay.
Can you name the rest of the top 5? I would say 6, because there are some people tied.
All right. So it has to be a consecutive tenure, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Shelty B's out. All right. And it has to be, they still have to be active. So I'm assuming John Cena doesn't count.
No.
Okay.
Orton is the I can tell you the number if you want it.
Okay, so Orton is 22 years.
Yeah, the next 2 are tied at 19.
19 years. So that's 2004?
Yeah.
Damn. Who was around in 2004? R-Truth left, so it can't be Truth.
No. Remember, this is active tenure, so they may not have been on TV, but they were with the WWE in some capacity.
Active tenure. JBL? No.
Same with the company.
I was gonna say I don't think he's with the company anymore. I'm gonna say I weirdly, because you said 2 people are tied. Are the Usos up there?
The Usos are. It's not these 2, but the Usos are 8th at 14 years.
Okay, the Usos are 8th. Is Natty up there?
Natty is one of the 5, 6. She's tied for 5th with 16 years.
Okay, so Natty's up there. Man, who else? It's the consecutive part that's killing me.
Yeah.
Dolph?
You're going to smack yourself. Dolph is tied for 2nd at 19 years.
Oh, because Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's also in just OVW or whatever the hell they are over there.
Who else has been there for a long-ass time? Sheamus?
Sheamus is the one that's tied with Natty at 16.
Okay. Who else has been there for consecutive? Because Drew left, Cody left. Okay, who are the other ones that I'm missing?
Tied with Dolph is The Miz.
Fuck. Yeah.
19 years.
Yeah.
And then between that group and the Natty Sheamus group is Kofi Kingston at 17 years.
My boy. I should have got Kofi.
The rest of the list is R-Truth, 15. We did the Usos at 14. Big E at 14.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins at 13. And Tamina, 13 years.
Impressive. The longevity of one Randy Orton is impressive, but what's more impressive, it's R-Truth, baby. Can't wait for the R-Truth 3-parter. It's going to be fantastic.
Here's hoping that he comes back.
What is your favorite match of all 15 that we covered for Randy Orton?
Oh my God. Why are you doing me like this? Ooh, that's tough, honestly.
That is tough.
It's probably from the beginning, maybe. Let me look the first 3 again.
Yeah, it might be in that beginning era.
Oh man, this is tough.
What about from?
Am I gonna say
Let's pick.
Taker. Am I going to say
Yes,
Taker? It's probably Taker.
Taker's pretty fun. From
Although I
this
really like the I Quit match with Cena. To be
from
fair,
this set, I'm gonna pick the Seth Rollins match.
yes, I agree. I think
I
the Seth
think in
Rollins
terms
match is
of
the most fun.
enjoyment per minute, I think it's the best
Yeah,
one for like just solid content per minute.
yeah. I think the Hell in a Cell matches are kind of similar.
Yeah, similar
So you
vibes.
can watch either or. It's up to you. The Bray Wyatt match, you can miss me with all that. The
Miss
Uso match
Van.
is just a standard TV tag match, and then the Rollins match is the best one of the bunch in my opinion.
Just watch that excellent RKO. All right. You should be subscribed to us on YouTube if you're not already. Go to Crossbody Work on YouTube and hit subscribe, hit like, all those things. Go watch our other stuff. Last week we released Wrestle Revisited. We talked about Batista. We talked about the AEW draft. We did that a couple weeks ago. Go and check out our stuff on YouTube. It is all great extra content. Plus, all the podcasts are already living there. You can just watch the podcast or listen to it however you want to consume it. If you're listening to it, rate 5 stars wherever you're listening. Share it, subscribe, help the boys out tremendously. You should follow us on social media at Crossbody Work on Twitter and Instagram. You should follow Javier wherever he tells you.
I am J Mello Sports on the Twitter machine.
Follow him there. Follow me on Twitter too, at @7gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. FullPressShop.com. Cop the merch. Support the boys. FullPressWrestling.com for all of the links for all of the matches this week. Some of them are Peacock exclusives, but you probably have Peacock because you are a wrestling fan, so you probably have
I'm
it.
pissed. Now I have to pay for Peacock.
I hate when that happens. This is terrible. Thank you for paying for Peacock for the podcast. You're a great man. All right.
It's like $4.
What a steal. Next week, we're off the 3-parter, so we actually have to reveal who we're talking about next week, and we are talking about a legendary tag team that I'll tell you what, I know nothing about. We are talking about the Midnight Express. There's going to be Jim Cornette on this podcast. Not him.
It's going to be Bobby, and that's all I care about.
It's going to be some beautiful Bobby. We're going to have a great time talking about the Midnight Express. You'll learn something. We'll learn something. We'll probably make some terrible jokes along the way. That's what we do. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast. Javier, any final words for the people?
So, as you may notice if you're watching on the YouTube machine, I got a Peloton.
Sponsor us.
Oh, yeah. Definitely sponsor us. I'll take my membership for free. Thank you. It's pricey, I'm not going to lie, but for me, it's been worth it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But what the point of this is, it's not for me flexing. It's for... it's the life advice this week is I canceled my gym membership as well, so I'm not going to a physical location. The apartment that I live at thankfully has a gym downstairs.
Yeah.
My advice this week would be if you're one of those people who are kind of like struggling to get consistency with your workouts, but you want to get more consistent, sometimes I understand, like, you just don't want to go to the gym.
No, it sucks.
I would say if you can, if you have the space for it, consider a Peloton or a Peloton alternative. That's really good fucking cardio, and it really fucking works out your legs, let me tell you. Or if you want to go on the cheaper side of things, just find a little corner, put a mat down, get some weights, and start doing body weight stuff. There's a lot of things that you could do from home that are really beneficial to you. Like, not everyone I know has a gym or lives in an apartment complex to have a gym.
Exactly.
So like if you're in one of those situations, just like I said, mat in the corner, get some weights. They don't have to be super crazy. You don't have to go up to the 50. I don't need you to get a whole rack. Just grab, a set of like
Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
10. Maybe you grab a set of 10, maybe you grab a set of 20s, and you just start working from there. You can do a bunch of home exercises. YouTube is absolutely flooded with them at this point because of the pandemic.
Many.
So yeah, just do that. Just get moving. If you want to find consistency in your workouts, but you don't want to go to the gym, find the consistency at home. And just as long as you're moving your body in some way, I'm not saying you got to do the whole breakdown of, push day Monday, pull day Tuesday, all this other stuff. Just listen to your body. If you're feeling like, all right, today my chest feels pretty pretty good, find a way to do some chest workouts. If you feel like your upper body is hurting a little bit, a little sore, and your legs aren't, do a leg day. If you
want everything to hurt, go to the Sky Zone. Go to trampoline park. Holy shit!
Yeah, that too.
You walk out of there and you're like, everything hurts now.
And another thing, you don't have to, if you want to find the consistency in your workouts, know that not everything has to be like a set, like weightlifting exercise. Like you can just go out there, go on a hike, go to a sky zone, go to do a spin class,
Just
there's a
be
bunch of other
active.
stuff. Yeah, go for a walk in the park. Anything, just as long as you're moving your body, that's what matters.
Run to the
The
ice cream
weather's
truck.
the weather's real nice. Maybe not up there in Canada because you guys have
Oh no,
fires and stuff like that.
yeah, the air quality's bad here, but the weather is
But
nice.
if you live literally anywhere else in the world aside from the East Coast, you can get your body moving. Go outside. Go do your thing, guys. I'm proud of all of you and where you are and your fitness and health levels. But we could always obviously be doing better. And if you want to do better, go be consistent.
Javier's proud of you. That's the main takeaway. But move your body. We're proud of you, but move your shit. All right, next week,
Yeah.
Midnight Express. We're very excited to dive into a tag team that we know nothing about. Thanks for joining us on this whole 3-part series for Randy Orton. We will talk to you next week.
Yeah.